Hey, this is Lito, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to stake your Ether and earn rewards. This is one of my favorite strategies that I show to both newcomers, but also like more experienced DeFi investors, because I think it's just super straightforward to stake. It's one transaction and then you can forget about it and you earn yield on your asset. The asset that you deposit is Ether. And so, if you believe in the growth potential of Ethereum and the Web3 DeFi NFT space, Ethereum is an asset with a lot of growth potential. So you're keeping that exposure, but on top you're earning rewards that can go from 10, 15%. Right now they're at 5%, but based on changes that the Ethereum network will make, these rewards will likely increase in the next year. With that being said, I'm going to show you how to do it with a provider called Stakewise that abstracts a lot of the complexity away from staking and makes it super straightforward. I'm going to first explain a bit like what is staking and then later explain you how to do it. Staking comes from proof of stake, and proof of stake is a consensus mechanism that is basically chosen by the Ethereum community as being the best consensus mechanism, and Ethereum is currently migrating away from proof of work, which is another consensus mechanism that is also employed by Bitcoin, where miners basically validate transactions by solving these riddles and spending a lot of energy. And that's why they have to run these huge mining farms, mining rigs, where they basically optimize the process of solving these riddles at the best speed. Their proof of stake is very different, where you don't have to spend humongous amounts of energy anymore, but you just validate transactions by putting up some stake, some collateral. So you have value at stake, essentially, similar to when you go to rent a car and you deposit some collateral, you have something at stake, and so you're not going to crash the car or something. This is similar in Ethereum 2.0, where people have to put some assets at risk and then they validate transactions. If they vote, honestly, in the base case scenario, they will earn rewards, and if they vote maliciously, some of their deposit will get slashed. But obviously this is not going to happen, because these voting decisions, if you behave like a normal user, it's automated and you're never going to vote maliciously. You're just going to follow the protocol rules. This is basically what staking is, and the rewards from staking come from the blockchain. So similarly to how in Bitcoin proof of work, you have block rewards that are paid out to miners. In proof of stake, it's very similar, where there's every block, there's some rewards that go to the validator that has proposed the block to the chain. And this is where the yield comes from. In case you're wondering, why am I earning something for just, depositing my Ether? It's because the network has this economic policy which rewards people that help secure it. So yeah, this is where the rewards come from. And in case you're wondering, I said before that Ethereum is currently still using proof of work, but here we staking, which implies that we're already using proof of stake. And basically the answer is we are already preparing for the migration from Ethereum to proof of stake, but currently the network is still running on proof of work. So we have at the moment we have two networks: the network that we're using every day, where all these applications are live, and then we have Ethereum 2.0, which is, you can imagine it's like a building where the base layer, the fundament has been laid, but we're not ready to move in yet. So we're still in the old house of Ethereum 1.0. February, where we have an event called The Merge, where all of the Ethereum 1 blockchain will basically be migrated into Ethereum 2.0, which means that the transactions will be much faster, much cheaper, and Ethereum will be also much more environmentally friendly. This fundament already exists, and this is why we can already stake and also earn rewards, even though we're not really using it yet. Normally, staking is a process that is a little bit difficult. You need to have at least 32 Ether, which is quite a big sum of money. I think it's close to $100,000 in dollars, $100,000. And you also need to, be a tiny bit technical, because you need to install some software, run the command line, and, also look after you validate a node to be sure that it's running as intended. Otherwise, you might lose some rewards. But in order to make this more easy and accessible for normal people, we have a category of new players in the crypto space, and they're called staking pools. Stakewise is a staking pool. So these pools, as the name says, they allow users to pool their funds together instead of having to have 32 ether, I can, put 1 ether, and then like 32 other people can put 1 ether, and then collectively these people will run a node, and the node will be run by Stakewise or their network of validators. For the end user, the experience is just like they have to deposit their ether, however much they want to deposit, and then they start earning rewards. So let's start. I'll just click here on this button, start staking, and then I will arrive in the app. And you can see that currently, there's 26,400 ETH that are staked in Stakewise. You can see that there's a deposit queue of 33 ETH that are waiting to be deposited as a validator node on the Ethereum 2.0 chain. Because there's this queue to orchestrate the process in which new validators can join the Ethereum 2.0 network. So normally, you have to, when you deposit here, you won't start earning rewards right away. It typically takes like a week. But yeah, you have a nice dashboard. You can see I'm currently staking 12 Ether, and I've earned already like $2,400. And the APR for staking is 5% at the moment. And as I said before, this will likely increase in the future. The normal process here for you to deposit some Ether is to enter an amount here. It says like the activation time is immediate. Basically, you will receive a token. Stakewise calls this token SETH2 that will represent your deposit into their pool. So this staking token, we call it, represents your deposit and allows you to go to, like Stakewise and basically claim it back for the underlying in case you want to withdraw at some point. And you wouldn't really go to Stakewise basically, but you would go to Uniswap and sell it back for ETH. And I'm going to show you how to do that. But yeah, if you want to stake, the normal case is just you enter the amount and you click on confirm, and then your MetaMask will open. And if you don't know what MetaMask is, I have another tutorial where I show you how to install MetaMask. But yeah, you click on confirm here. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to show you something else. But yeah, once it's confirmed, it goes to the blockchain where miners do their magic, and then at some point it will be confirmed on the blockchain. And then, as I said, you will get this SETH2 token, which represents your deposit, which means you're basically good and you start earning rewards, and you'll see your rewards grow here. One last thing, right now, because we're not officially moved into this new blockchain Ethereum 2.0, you have these tokens that represent the stake, and another token called RETH2 that represents the rewards. And you can sell them. There are markets for these tokens on the Ethereum 1.0 on Uniswap, but they trade at a little discount. And the reason for that is that these rewards, they are actually not claimable yet. They are accruing in this new house, the Ethereum 2.0 blockchain, but we don't have access to them yet. And because there's like a delay, as I said, like probably February, March, where you will actually get them. That's why these tokens, if you want to exit it, they're trading at a small discount. So that's something you need to know. If you're staking now, but 1 week later you want to exit again, you'll likely lose some money because you will have to sell at a discount. I don't know if that makes sense. If not, reach out and ask me. But yeah, if you stake, you should have at least a long-term horizon until February, March, when this discount will not be present anymore, and the rewards earned by validators will be immediately accessible. So there will be no discounts. Now, with that knowledge, I want to show you something that is better, in my opinion, than depositing here through the Stakewise interface, because here you get every ETH you deposit, you get one SETH2. But as I've explained to you, because of the illiquidity, basically, some people that have exited, that didn't think their decision through, there's always a little discount at the moment. How to stake, how to buy these SETH2 tokens without going through the Stakewise interface, and you make the most out of this market that I told you about that exists between ETH and SETH2, where, as I said, there's sometimes a little discount. And you can see this discount, right now it's not huge. You'd get 0.5% bonus versus staking through the Stakewise interface, where you get 10 SEs2, here you get like, again, 0.5% more. So it's not huge, but sometimes the discount is bigger. And it's, as long as there is a discount and you have as your mindset to stake at least for 6 months, a year, I would always do this, because this discount will vanish over time. As soon as the merge happens, it should go away. So this is, you're basically buying because you're able to get this discount because other people don't want to hold this long and have like exited their position, and so they sold at the discount, which is not the smartest thing to do. But now you have basically staked. Just to show you, if you would want to buy from here, you would enter the amount you want to buy, and then you'd click on swap, and then you would proceed to buy. You'd confirm the transaction, and then as soon as the swap is processed on the chain, then you have your SEs2 tokens and you start earning rewards here. And you saw, like before I had 10, 12 SEs2, now I have 22. I just bought 10 more actually. And my rewards they're gonna increase faster now that I have more tokens, and you would see your rewards here as well that I want to show you. Where if you're a bit more curious, a bit more experienced, which is how to earn more rewards, even increase from like 5% to somewhere between 18 and 25%, as you can see here. If you pool your SEs2 tokens with Ether and provide it on a Uniswap. Uniswap is the exchange where I just bought my SEs2 tokens, and Stakewise is actually incentivizing liquidity on that pair. Because Stakewise, they want this pair to be quite liquid because they want users to be able to exit their position. For them to exit their position before the merge happens, there needs to be a market where you can actually sell your SEs2 token. And ideally, they want this discount to be quite narrow, right? Because if someone would sell their SEs2 token and there would be like a huge discount and they would lose like 20% by selling, they'd be quite mad, and this is not something that Stakewise wants. So they're incentivizing liquidity providers to pool together their ETH and their SEs2, and then they're earning these rewards. So you can see there's the ETH2 staking rewards that are 5%, and then there's like 13% that is just from Swise rewards. And Swise is the governance token of Stakewise. It allows you to participate in the governance. It allows you to get a share of the fees accrued by the platform. And a lot of other benefits. And then there's also the trading fees that accrue to the liquidity providers. Every time there's a swap, there's a small fee that goes to the LPs. And right now this fee is quite small. It's computed daily, but I've seen days where it's much higher based on trading volume. So if you want to become a liquidity provider here, you would, there's a nice how-to guide that explains, there's a nice it explains how to do it in like a nice graphical presentation. So it says go to Uniswap, choose the fee tier that you want to provide liquidity on. So that's basically how much people will have to pay you if they make a swap. Select the range that you want to provide liquidity on. So until how much you're willing to buy for and how much you're willing to sell for. And that's your willingness to sell at given prices. It's something you will define in the Uniswap user interface, and then you add the liquidity, and then basically you're done, because you don't need to do anything else. As soon as you do that, Stakewise will see that you have done that, and they will start dispersing the rewards to you. So let's check it out. So they have a handy little button here that will basically bring you to the Uniswap pool, the right one, and then this is essentially the pool that you will be brought to if you click on the button. So I've already selected the fee tier, which is 0.3%, as indicated by Stakewise. And then you have to select the price range, and that's important. You can toggle here between the different assets, and then the range will be denominated from another point of view, essentially. But I click on ETH, and this shows you the price of SEs2 per ETH that you're willing to buy for, and the max that you're willing to sell for. The closer you are to the market price, the better, basically, but you also don't want to be too close. Otherwise, if the price moves too much, then you're out of range and you won't earn any fees anymore. So as long as you're in the range, like you're spanning the market price, then you're good. And, we know, as we've discussed before, that the price will always be at a discount. So now for selecting the price range, it's actually quite easy for this one, because we know that SEs2 should always trade at a discount. As long as the merge hasn't happened, it should trade at a discount, right? Because of this liquidity lockup. So that means that for every SEs2, you'll always pay more SEs2 per ETH than the other way around. So you'll always have to pay a bit more SEs2 to get 1 ETH. Well, the inverse will never be the case. So like I'm saying, the min price should be 1 here, and the max price should be somewhere, like put something like 1.1. So that would be like quite a discount, or you could put that would be like a 1% discount, or you could put like this discount. So regardless of what range you decide, it will be something between 1 and 1.1. That will determine basically in what ratio you'll have to provide. So here, let's see, for example, let's say if I want to put all my ETH that I have into this pool, I would have to put 0.86 SEs2 and 3.6 ETH. And then I would click on preview, on add. Then once this transaction is processed, you will start earning these Stakewise rewards. Basically, I shouldn't put all my ETH, because then I wouldn't have any ETH to pay my transaction fees anymore. For this transaction, yes, because it's taken into account, but like my next transaction, I won't have any ETH. So it's not very smart. But yeah, this is basically how you do it. And then you would see here that you're earning. So here I'm already doing it. So you see my liquidity is 137,000. And it's all active, so it's all within range. And I've earned $4,000 in rewards, $800 in LP fees. So this is really just the trading volume, the fees that is generated by the trading volume. And this is the rewards that the staked ETH that are in the pool, they're continuing to earn rewards. So that's why I have like 0.149 RETH2. And then there's the Stakewise rewards, as we've mentioned before. That's it. And there's one other cool thing that I want to show you with Stakewise, which is that you can actually then use your SEs2 to get a loan. If you want liquidity, you could go here. So Rari is basically a lending platform that allows you to use some of your assets as collateral. If you don't want to sell your ETH, for example, you can put it up as collateral there and then get a loan against your collateral. If you want liquidity because you want to, like, say you've discovered a new product, a new project, and you want to invest in it, but you don't want to sell your ETH because you also believe in it, then you can get upfront liquidity here on Rari and also on other lending platforms like Aave. For Aave, they only have markets for the biggest assets, but here on Fuse, there's also a market for this staked ETH token, this SEs2 token. There's one pool, I think it's called Rye. Here, Money Flavors, I think it's called. Exactly. So here you can see that SEs2 is listed as a token that you can use as collateral, and then it has a 50% loan to value ratio, meaning that if you deposit $100,000 worth of SEs2, you could borrow $50,000 worth of something else. And the way you do this, you just click here on collateral, you need to do a transaction there. And then once that's done, and right now the fees on Ethereum are quite high, 154 Gwei. It's quite high, but yeah, you do this on the day where the fees are a bit lower. You could deposit, you'd have to do this first transaction here, make it whitelisted as collateral, and then you would deposit your SEs2 and then you could borrow against it. And you could borrow, for example, ETH against it, which is quite interesting because you would continue earn rewards on your staked ETH. You would borrow ETH against it. So there's no real price risk there, because those ETH should trade in range of staked ETH, as we've seen before. There's a small discount, but it shouldn't fluctuate too much because it's essentially the same asset. Just one is earning yield and the other is not. And you could say that your yield from your staked ETH is paying back the loan. You put 10 ETH in and you borrow 1 ETH, and then in a year that or more, you could pay back that ETH that you've borrowed just from the rewards that you've earned. So there's quite a few cool things to do there. But you could also borrow Rye, which is sort of a stable coin that you could borrow and then sell for USDC or whatever you want. So yeah, that's something cool that you can do. And if you want to stay in touch with the Stakewise community and ask them some questions and so on, I believe there's some ways to reach out. They have like a Discord, which I will link to in the, oh yeah, it's there. You can just click there and then you'll be brought into the Discord. It's quite an active community. You can ask questions, and yeah, I hope you have a good experience staking Ether, and I hope you have a good experience